Another game, another absolute hiding the Manly Sea Eagles have copped. I got to say, for a long time I was sort of thinking, I don't really hate Manly anymore. They're kind of likeable. They got Trbojevics and that. I don't really hate them. But then all of a sudden, after watching the last couple of weeks and seeing them get flogged, you kind of realise, yeah, it is pretty satisfying watching it happen. So maybe there is a little bit of hatred these days, but yeah, look, you can tell by the start of this video that this video is going to be talking about Manly and their start to the season in 2021. Now, I just want to start off by saying Manly have actually had a fairly hard draw to start off the year. So I think you take into account Tom Trbojevic isn't playing and the draw that they've had. I don't know if you want to look into it too much. I mean, they've played Penrith, they played the Rabbitohs, and they've played the Roosters, and this was before all the injuries to Luke Keary and all that. So this is the Roosters at full strength too. So they've played probably the top three sides. The only one is the Dragons, and the Dragons also have beat other teams as well. So it's not like the Dragons have been a total shit show in 2021. Manly have, but Dragons haven't. So look, it hasn't been a great year for them, but I can see everyone already looking at them now and saying, yep, they're going to win the wooden spoon and terrible side, and it's just all downhill for Manly. They're not going to get any better. To that, I say, like I said, they've already played some of the toughest teams in the league. Look, they're only going to play easier sides. That's pretty much it. So with Tom Trbojevic back, I don't think it's all doom and gloom for Manly. However, I think the one thing that is consistent is Des Hasler and his inability to pick a different side. At the Bulldogs, I watch him there. I watch him week in, week out, pick the same guys every week. And these same guys that he was picking every week are now not even in the league. You have guys like Michael Leacher and your Kerrod Hollands and all that. They'd be sitting there, they'd be getting picked every week, despite how they played. You'd have guys like Damien Cook in reserve grade not getting an opportunity, and we'd have Michael Leacher playing, and they'd go to another club, they'd get an opportunity. And it's honestly starting to get like that at Manly. I mean, you look at their side, you still got Dylan Walker playing fullback. Why the hell is Dylan Walker playing fullback? It didn't work like 5 years ago. It's not going to work now. He can barely even play 5'8". He should be playing centre, and that's about it. Probably not even playing centre these days. He's probably, I don't even know, he's even first grade centre these days. I don't know. Dylan Walker at fullback, though, the experiment has definitely not worked. This isn't a situation where you had a Will Hopewadi or someone who actually had some ball skills, and you're chucking them in at fullback, and just out of necessity, you're just chucking them in at fullback, and it kind of just happened to work. Dylan Walker's clearly not working. He's not working at fullback. You need to chuck him in the centres. Chuck someone else there. Chuck a youngster. I don't care who you put in. Put someone else at fullback. Dylan Walker's not it. The halves, they're not really stepping up. Look, Kieran Foran, Cherry Evans, in the off-season, we're looking at the prospect of Cherry Evans and Foran linking up again. And immediately I was like, yeah, it's a pretty good deal for Manly. However, Foran's been injury-prone, but they just haven't hit it off this year. And probably because they're a lot older, haven't played together for a long time. And when they came into the comp, they had a much better team around them. When they were winning a premiership, they had like Jamie Lyon and Steve Maddai in the centres. You had Brett Stewart at fullback. You still had Glenn Stewart. You had Watmow. Like, you had a really, really good forward pack. You had a good backs. You just had a very, very strong side in general. Even in terms of the hooker position, they still don't have a hooker. They are persisting with Lachlan Croker, despite Cade Cuss looking like the better prospect, looking like a better player when he comes on. Yeah, Lachlan Croker plays every week. And to me, this is the most frustrating thing with Des, is the fact that he'll keep picking Lachlan Croker every single week. I guarantee next week he picks him. Cade Cuss come on, he scored a try. I guarantee Lachlan Croker will be in the side next week. That's just how Des Hasler is. He just pick and sticks despite the results. And look, sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. But when it doesn't work, it's just detrimental to the side. And as a Bulldog supporter, I kind of feel for Manly because we experienced it, and Des absolutely left the Bulldogs in a hole. And I feel like he's going to do the same to Manly too. Look, their salary cap's in shambles. Look, the actual just playing roster is in shambles. But like I said, it's not all doom and gloom. You still do have some pretty good prospects. I thought Schuster has looked really, really good. And like I said, you've been playing the top teams, so it is expected that you're going to cop an absolute hiding. I mean, every team who's playing them seems to cop an absolute hiding, so it's not exactly a surprise. It's just more of the attitude, more of like you can just see the body language on players. I know the media was talking about, I think it was Fox Sports, they'll talk, maybe it was Channel 9 actually, they were talking about Jake Trbojevic trying to rev up the team after they just conceded and all the heads are down and no players really listening. And I think that's the biggest thing for Manly at the moment. Is not the fact that I feel like ability-wise, I feel like they're a bit better than what they're actually displaying, but just the attitude's not there. The attitude's not there. They're just not in the right headspace, and you're not going to win when you're like that. They're playing in front of Brookvale. They haven't won since last year at Brookvale. You think they'd be a lot more amped up for it, and yet here they are, copping another absolute hiding to Penrith. And look, there's no shame in copping a hiding to Penrith. Penrith, they're probably going to win the comp this year. I've been watching them. I've been very impressed with the Panthers. they've been absolutely outstanding. They seem better than last year, which is something I wasn't sure that they would do. So there's absolutely no shame in losing to Penrith. It's just the fashion that they did it in. Even if they just had a bit more of an effort, or it even looked like they were half enjoying themselves out there. Like, I don't know what's going on at Manly, but just it looks like the team morale is just not there. And they do have some pretty decent players still. Like I said, they've got Kieran Foran, they've got Daly Cherry-Evans, they've got Trbojevic, well, Jake Trbojevic, they've still got Tom to come back. I'm just thinking that Manly, I don't know if they're going to rely on Tom Trbojevic too much. I've always said that Manly, without Tom Trbojevic, are absolutely nothing, and this has been proven right in his absence. In past years, they had guys like Brandon Elliott who've come in and done a fairly decent job, but obviously he's not there anymore, and they don't even have a backup option to a guy who's injured all the time. So I don't understand why you wouldn't have a backup option for Tom Trbojevic, considering all of his injury concerns. It just doesn't make sense to me, but I feel like a lot of the times Des Hasler decisions don't make a lot of sense. I mean, just look at the side he's picking. He's still got Dylan Walker at fullback, Kay Cuss coming off the bench despite being the best hooker option. It's just a very weird situation at Manly where I feel like they should be doing a lot better than what they are. And Manly also, I feel like they've sort of stuffed themselves in a sense that they've come out and said when Trent Barrett was there, they were like, nah, we can't have this. They're not playing well because we need a Manly guy in. The only other Manly guys you can get is Des Hasler and Jeff Tuvey at this point. And they're not going to get Jeff Tuvey and Des Hasler. It's not working out well for him. And even when Des first came back, it was like, oh, well, he understands the Manly culture. This is why it's happening. This is why they're playing good. And then all of a sudden they're not playing. And it's like, well, we've just went and sprouted all this shit about how you've got to be part of the Manly culture to coach this team. So it's like, well, who are you going to get? What are you going to get? Brett Stewart come coach? You're going to get Glenn Stewart or someone? When you get Matt Orford or something? Like, I don't know. You've just limited your options so much. But yeah, I think I'm just rambling at this point. But yeah, the point of this video is just to talk about Manly and just talk about the fact that they are probably the worst team in the comp right now. However, I feel like with the Bulldogs still in the competition and a few other teams, I wouldn't say they're like the worst in general. It's just right now they're the worst, but they're missing their best player. So I feel like any team who's missing their best player is obviously going to suffer. Look at the Cowboys. Look at them with Jason Taumalolo not playing. Look at the Bulldogs. Oh, well, the Bulldogs don't really have a best player. But, yeah, the Cowboys with Jason Taumalolo, even Michael Morgan, they're missing their two best players. And they're probably even worse than Manly, actually, to be honest. But, yeah, Manly, they do have some upside. They've still got some good players. Still got your Marty Taupau's and that. Your Jake Trbojevics, look, your Cherry-Evans. They've still got some decent players. And I do think they will get better as the season goes on. And obviously, as Tom Trbojevic comes back into the side, I think they'll start to get some wins. But yeah, in terms of them making the top 8, I think it's already ruled out. And I think it's more going to be a competition for them to not get the wooden spoon. And even so, when we talk about Tom Trbojevic, it's such a toss-up because it's like, well, he's still got a couple of weeks to come back. And who knows, he'll probably get injured again. First game, he'll come back and probably do his hemi again. So I feel like they should at least have a plan B for when Tom Trbojevic goes down. And I really hope it's not Dylan Walker, because at the moment it is Dylan Walker, and it's not going well. That's the easiest way to put it. It's not going well. So yeah, leave in the comment section below. What's the solution for Manly? Where do they go from here? Is it fixable? Is it not fixable? I want to hear your opinions. Leave in the comment section below. What are your thoughts on Manly? If you happen to enjoy this video, make sure you go ahead and leave a like on it and subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Also, make sure to turn on the notification bell. Super important in terms of you actually seeing the video, because the sub boxes, they're pretty dodgy. So go ahead, turn on the notification bell. You get a little notification on your phone when I've actually uploaded. So just click on it, watch the video, leave a first comment, do whatever you want to do. Also, give me a follow on social media. It's on the screen right now. It's Mr. Luke on YT. For the most part, my Facebook is just Mr. Luke, but everything else is Mr. Luke on YT. So just copy what's on the screen right now, or just go into the description box and click on the link. So do whatever you want to do, but yeah, that's where I'm going to end this video. Had to have a little sort of chat about Manly because they are just abysmal at the moment. But yeah, that's where I'm going to end this one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. See yous.